Oh boy, what's going on? Is our audio here? How about now, y'all? How about now? Welcome to Recovering Addicts. Sorry about all that, people. We are a live stream coming to you from the heart of Utah. We are RA and we are a nonprofit, and we are dedicated to standing shoulder to shoulder with those fighting with the toughest battles of their life, and that battle is with addiction. We are a relapse prevention center, and guess what? We are long-term, and we are totally free. Locally here in Utah, in Weber County, we gather every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 8 o'clock p.m. in the Iron House Gym, located on 155 14th Street. Come see us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The first hour we dedicated to our bodies, strengthen our physical resilience as we work out together. The last hour, we unite our minds and our spirits, sharing and supporting each other in our group therapy sessions. We are a therapeutic community, and the best thing of all is we are absolutely free, and you can join today and stay as long as you want. Yeah, but this stream right here, y'all, this stream is for those of you out there who can't be here with us physically. But y'all share in the same dedication. Y'all want to break free from the chains of addiction and share it with people who else want to break free. It's for everyone looking for a beacon of hope, support, connection in their journey towards long-term, life-changing sobriety. Together, we're going to explore the latest news. We're going to deep dive into the intricacies of addiction and expand our spiritual horizons and equip ourselves with practical health and fitness tips. Remember, this isn't just a live stream, it's a lifeline. And we are here with you every step of the way. And our motto is, say it with me, we recover better together. That's right, so take a deep breath, ready your heart and your mind, because together we're not just surviving, we are thriving in life. Welcome to the Recovering Addict live stream. Let's embark on this journey today of healing and empowerment. I'm LT, I'm an alcoholic addict. Twice in my life I hit rock bottom. Early 2000s, meth. In my late 30s, I started drinking and became a fifth-the-night whiskey drinking, crappiest father, family neglected, horrible husband you can imagine. Had to go to rehab. Went to rehab for about 6 months, and I'm still basically in rehab. I got into recovery August 19th, 2019. I never left. I just continued to expand and grow in it over the last 4 years.
I'm Felice. I'm married to LT. I hit rock bottom in a different way. I hit it in the spouse's way. Um, had to get help for myself. Went and saw a friend who helped me through a lot of things. Shout out to Maritza. She was amazing and helped me heal myself so that I could quit enabling my husband. And then things just got better. Things got amazing. And here we are today, doing this together
Doing it together, and our
as a family.
relationship is better.
Doing it
Our
as a
family,
family.
it's all so much better, y'all. It's all so much better. Who's with us today? You want to say hi?
Yeah, we got Marilyn. Always the first one lately. Love seeing you,
Marilyn.
Marilyn. Marilyn says, LT, yes, you can be in recovery if your partner drinks.
Mm.
We are only in control of our sobriety.
So this live stream is to help people who are battling addiction, who know people that are in addiction, or maybe your husband or your wife or your kids, or and you're the co-addict, you're the codependent, whatever you want to, whatever your involvement is, we are here for you. But our questions are today, and I've got a lot of questions to ask before we get into the meat of it. Like, can someone truly be in recovery if they're in a relationship? Say I quit drinking. I had a problem with alcohol. I quit. Felice drinks. Say hypothetically, say Felice is drinking. Is that something possible for somebody in recovery? And this stream isn't just for those who casually drink and think they might have a problem. Just like somebody that drinks once a month. The people that we're talking to, like, were like me, right? I was a meth addict until I got felonies and got put in jail. Got out of jail, relapsed, went back to jail. I was addicted to meth, and I was a drug addict. I was a criminal, right? And later in my life, I became a straight up alcoholic. Nothing mattered except for getting to my next bottle of whiskey. Pass out, drink, wake up, pass out, drink, wake up, that kind of thing.
There's a song like that.
Wake up, drink, pass out, you know? And so somebody that has a serious problem with addiction, can they be with somebody else who flaunts, not really flaunts it, but it's just in their face? Say they smoke weed, say they drink. Go ahead.
That's good questions. There's Jeanette. You can hear us now, though.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, yeah.
And then we got Pam, July 25, 2013 equals
Oh,
10 years
snap.
and 5 days. Oh, dat. So 42 days.
5 years. Holy cow, that's good.
10 years and 5 days.
Very cool.
Then we got
Congratulations.
Brandy Evelyn Coughlin, 11/9/17, free from active addiction. At a girl.
Yes. 11, 19. Let's say those 2017, 18, 19, 20, 22, 20. 6 years.
Oh, good job.
So sick. So sick.
That's amazing. That's really good, actually. That's very good.
Yeah.
Then my older brother here. He says,
Epic.
long time no see, $1,000,000.
$1,000,000 Millie. $1,000,000 Millie.
$1,000,000 Millie.
She's hanging out with us. So, can someone truly be in recovery while in a relationship with a partner who still drinks or uses substances? What are your initial thoughts? So, when you think about that, and one of my huge models, and I always close the show with this, I always say, do not put yourself in a high risk situation. Is that a high risk situation? What are your initial thoughts? I'm in recovery, but my partner still uses. Me, it gives red flags. It's tough. Like the reason we're even talking about this is I got sent an article, and the article was this guy who had a problem drinking, and he ended up divorcing his wife because she continued to drink, right? And then years later, 16 years later, he ends up with another lady. They get married, and she drinks, but he does not. But now he knows how to handle and manage it. So, like what's going on? How do you make sense of all of that, right? Do not put yourself in a high risk situation, but your partner's not willing to quit. And maybe your partner doesn't have a problem. I don't know. To what extent can a person's recovery from addiction be influenced by their significant other's drinking habits? To what extent can a person's recovery from addiction be influenced by their significant other's drinking? What do you think? What are your initial thoughts on this? Like, could you be with somebody that was still drinking and using? I think for the first year and a half, and it depends on the person, right? Say somebody has been abusing drugs for 15 years, and all of a sudden they're only 1.5 years clean. 15 years of building horrible habits, horrible mental habits and thoughts and thinking and survival techniques, horrible abuse to their body. 15 years of it, right? And now you're only clean for a little year and a half. I mean, that's great. A year and a half, that's great. It's early recovery still compared. Compare your sobriety. Like, I look at my sobriety and I'm at 4 years and people are like, dang, that's awesome. 4 years. And then I show or I read my using history, and it's like I've only been sober in my life a couple of years at a time from the age of 16. I think from 16 to 20, no, shoot, 27, 28, I either drank or smoked weed. And then from 28 to 34, I was clean. I was sober. I was clean. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't, nothing. And then 34 to 40, I was drinking and doing drugs. And so there's just like this little tiny small period, right? So you take my 4 little tiny years of sobriety at this point and measure it against how much I actually abused myself habitually and the habits I created. 4 years is I'm still in early recovery, right? And so these precautions need to take place. You're talking about me.
Talking about me. We're talking about Grant.
Talking about Grant again.
Jeez. Get Grant out of this. What's up, Brittany? What's up, Steph? Steph?
This is Steph.
Date?
My clean date is June 13th, 2023. All right.
Oh.
Woo! Let's give you some cheers. Ah, that's awesome. 2023, June. That's
30 some odd days?
30 some odd days. Oh,
40
we might
days?
have a video. I don't know. Do I still have those? Remember when I used to play those videos?
Yeah.
I don't have them anymore.
Those were cool.
Need to make some more.
Those were OG.
That's OG.
What up, Alan? Good
Proud
to
of
see
you.
ya.
Keep it up. Do not quit. Do not give up. So,
Quit.
next question. We often talk about the role of supportive environment in recovery. So, how does this environment change when your significant other continues to drink or use? Do you believe open and honest communication about feelings towards substance use is enough to navigate a relationship where one partner is in recovery and the other continues to drink? We're talking about somebody who has a severe problem with alcohol and somebody who they have to live with drinks. Is that possible?
Oh, Oh, we got Grant. He says 1.5 years clean, 10, 10, 21.
Woo! Heck yes. Huh?
Wife drinks.
Right. That's a but
Possible.
and the cool thing is we know these people, right? And we know that Jen, if she does drink, when she if she does, right, she's not like me.
No.
She's not gonna finish all the liquor at Red
Like me.
Lobster. Yeah, like literal people who can have a glass of wine, who can have one beer or one and a half beers and leave a half a beer and actually throw the beer away with alcohol in the bottle. Don't know how they do that. Can somebody be like that? Grant can, and I know many people that can. So if you find yourself in this situation and you're wondering how to navigate it, it's going to expand more than just your significant other. Just was it last night? It was last night we stopped at my brother's house, right?
I feel like
So
it was, yeah.
we live in a new area. We're in Clinton now, and my brother literally lives zero point 0.5 miles that way, right behind me. And so I drive past his house all the time, honk honk every day almost. You know, we go to Smith's, we go shopping, we come back. So last night we're going to pick up Millie. She's at Vacation Bible School at the church, so we go pick her up. On our way back, I pull over, and my brother's there. He's got his chairs in a circle. He's got his smoker going, and he's had probably 15 beers. Him and his buddy, and they're pretty drunk, right? And I sit down and we hang out, and we hung out for 45 minutes to an hour,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It was good till the mosquitoes ate us.
Still the
a bit.
mosquitoes got out, and then it was time to go. But my point is you're going to be around it eventually. You're going to be. I mean, we normalize alcohol is just it's socially acceptable. You have to explain why you don't drink. And I show up, I sit down, and they're having their jokes and they're telling their same exact stories over and over again. And it doesn't bother me a bit. My life goals and my wants and my new vision and my new direction drinking has zero to do with it. So it doesn't even bother me. But as soon as I walk on the up there, his buddy, and the whole topic was recovery. I thought, oh man, must be another sign. LT's here. I need to quit drinking. And I don't mean to shame them. I don't mean to nothing. I don't care what they do. If they want help, I'm here for them. If they want to drink, they can drink, and I can be around it because I love my brother and I love hanging out with him. And he cooked up some meat. We all had a few pieces and hung out.
But it took a couple of years to get to that point.
Yeah, I would not have done that 2 years ago. I wouldn't have stopped by. If I noticed they were drinking 2 years ago, I would not have put myself in a high risk situation like that.
Yeah. So there's definitely growth. Like me personally being a partner of somebody who is an alcoholic, I think in my own mind, I'm too scared of ever going back to that I would never drink again in front of him or at all, probably. Just that's my own fears. Doesn't mean that he wouldn't be able to handle it. It's just my own anxieties.
Yeah.
Randy says, I honestly could be with someone who's a social drinker. Alcohol wasn't my niche. As long as they can handle it and it does not become an issue. I feel others shouldn't have to walk on eggshells to worry about triggering their partner.
Sure. At the end of the day, it's our problem. My alcohol problem is not her problem. She, was a victim of it, but because I can't handle it, she shouldn't have to change the way her life is. Say she wanted a glass of wine, right? And I agree with you on that one, Brandy. Brandy?
Brandy.
Brandy Conklin.
Grant said she doesn't have a problem. Normal people.
So, what do you do? Like you're in your first year. Do you hide completely from the world? And I love my old therapist when I was in recovery. He's like, when you're in early recovery, and I consider early recovery 2 to 3 years. Once you get past the 3 and you get into your 4, I think you got a little bit more strength, especially when you've changed your goals and your lifestyle has completely changed. We're going to talk about that later when we get to our health and fitness tips and diet, because it becomes a lifestyle change. It's not, there's no finish line. You change your life for the rest of your life. And that's what recovery is. You're changing your life for the rest of your life. And it takes a while to get rid of those old habits. It takes a while for your body to stop craving that old instant gratification, that old buzz, that old mindset of let's party and get wild until we wake up and not know where we're at. And so I say for the first couple of years, stay as far away from it as you can. And if you have a loving spouse, I think they need to be your support system at that time and give up drinking with you. If not, then there are some things that we can do to navigate this. And I'm going to give a bunch of things you can do.
Question for Grant though, how did you navigate through it? Out of curiosity, if you'd like to share.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Do you guys keep it in the house? Does she just do it on like weekends with her friends and you're not around, or how did that work, and how did you get through it? Curious.
Yeah.
Brandy says, I was in treatment for 1 whole year with new people and a new routine. I changed everything and I had to work damn hard to be where I am today in my recovery.
Yeah.
I had a girl killing it.
Leave that up for a second. I was in treatment for a whole year. How long, Brandy, if you don't mind me asking, how long were you in addiction? How long was your drug of choice consuming your lifestyle? But you said 1 whole year in there, and the new people, beautiful. New routines, that is the lifestyle change I'm talking about. If you want something you don't have, you have to change everything to get it. If you keep, the cliche, if you keep doing the same thing you're doing, you're going to get the same thing you've always got. You have to change everything. Right now, I'm trying to change. We're going to get to this in the diet section. I have about 15 pounds of fat I want to shed. And it's like the last one. And it's years of abuse that I've put it on my body. So it is going to be stubborn. It's going to be hard, but I have to change my lifestyle. And I have to do it in a way that's realistic and maintainable, not some fad diet where I go on some Atkins or low calorie or starve myself and ruin my metabolism and stuff, right? So with recovery, it's the same way. You have to change a sustainable lifestyle with no finish line.
She said, when I had trauma in 2009 and got clean in 2017, so
Eight, 8 years.
8 years?
Wow.
I'm not good at basic math.
Me neither.
that was pretty good. I was like, Des, what's up, Des?
Good day, mate. Glad you're here, brother.
Jim, welcome. Michelle Hapelavine, look at you.
Michelle Levine
Good to see you.
Welcome. I still got
Good
to
to
send
see
stuff.
you.
I'm sorry, Michelle.
Oh, is that who we're sending stuff to?
No, there's 2 people I need to send stuff to, and I keep forgetting. It's one of those things I only remember when I see the name.
We'll remember Monday.
But I text it to Felice and Aubrey so that they can remind me to send stuff.
We
Vincent,
got his
2
back.
weeks clean. Woo! That's what I'm
Vincent
talking about.
Green.
2 weeks clean. What's up? What's up with you? What are you doing to stay clean? How are you changing your lifestyle? What are you getting clean from? If you don't mind, Sharon, share it. Let's talk about it. How do you feel? What are you doing? What does your recovery program look like? You got to work this program. Obviously, you're here, so that's a good thing.
It's nice to see you.
You're thinking about it, so that's about all I know.
Yeah, stick with us, man. If you're in the area, you can come to our program. We're super cool.
Yeah, if you're in Utah.
I'm around drinking constantly, but I can just say no. I don't need or want it. Was at a wedding this weekend, had a blast, not a single thought of drinking.
Nice.
I'm sure it gets to a point where it just doesn't sound good anymore. Just like, I don't even want to go there.
So the story of us showing up at my brother's last night as he's barbecuing and drinking beer with his buddies. As I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying not drinking. I'm enjoying looking at my wife and her like going, okay, cool, we're safe today. We're safe, marked safe from LT drinking till who knows when.
Got one of them white flags.
Felice was marked safe that night because I don't drink. And I'm listening to him like, you know how us drunk people get. When we're drunk, we tell the same story 100 times. We tell the same joke over and over and over. And I'm doing this and I'm laughing and I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm not drunk. And then I wake up the next morning and I'm thinking, I wonder how they feel. Because I felt great. Went on a long bike ride, got some stuff done around the house, went on a long bike ride. I felt great.
And that stuff hits harder when you're a little older.
Yeah,
And
we're getting old.
They're a little older. Playing online.
Vincenting Ando.
What are you playing?
Online. Nice.
Brandy's vice was IV meth and crack.
Wow, that's powerful. That's
Good
hard to
for
get
you.
rid of, especially
Or
IV.
For
Man.
you. That's amazing. When I got sober, I didn't go partying, weddings, or funerals. I did this for about 2 years. I think for sure that first 2 years is crucial.
First 2
to stay away
years.
from all of the above.
Yeah. And back to what my counselor was saying to me. That's where I tangented off and didn't get back to. He says there's a few situations. There's A, places you have no business being. When you are in early recovery or in life in general, you have no business being at the crack house. You have no business being at the dealer's house. Down on, if you're in Philadelphia, on Kensington Street,
Yeah.
where all the IV users, unless you are trying to save lives with a group of people. There are places you have no business being. Then there's B, places that you have to be because of situations, right? Say you're at work and you're in a catering business and you have to cater wine to people, or your job takes you to a place where there's alcohol, or there's uh, a, a party, a company party, and there's alcohol there. There's places there, and that's where you need to go with a plan to be able to escape, with a support system who knows where you're at, what time you're going to be there, what time you're leaving. You have to have a few people on speed dial and an exit strategy, right? And then there's C. We live in a world where weed is becoming legal everywhere. When Utah, luckily, I'm really glad they passed this law. So in Utah, you can have a medical marijuana card, you can use THC, but you cannot flame it. You cannot light flame to green marijuana. And I'm glad. We've been to Washington and Denver just this last year for a few days at a time. And it just, the whole city, and well, even, we were in Salt Lake the other day at the food truck face off, remember?
Oh
It was
yeah,
reeking like weed too. But it
but
just
not like those
reeks,
places.
reeks like weed.
And it just smells. It smells like skunk.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
nobody wants their state to smell like a nasty skunk.
see you, brother. See
Grody.
you, Grant. Have a good night, man. He said, it starts in the morning for me. I meditate and have to talk with my higher power. After that, I accept the things I have no control over. Her decision to drink is not,
Drink.
or not, is one of those things. Yeah, love it.
Beautiful.
Have fun where you're at, brother.
Accept the things I have no control over.
So,
Very important.
C, you might have to walk down the beer aisle at Walmart. You might pass some people on the sidewalk smoking a joint. And that's when you got to be strong in your recovery. And you have to have your mind made up. It's when you have to have your life choices in order. And obviously a support group and support people. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. You wrecked your life. It is your responsibility to fix your life. It's like that with diets. We've been talking diet around here a lot lately. And I can't make anybody want to. I can show you how. I can support you. I can go with you. I can run with you. I can show you how to do it all. But that whole want to thing, that all is on you. There's nothing I can do to like want this, want sobriety, want to be healthy, want to be strong, whatever, right?
That'd be cool though. Hey, Steph had a question about what a we support system is. She's heard it a few times during any meeting.
We support system. What is a we support
Is
system?
that like we support each other and we're a system?
Hmm.
Google. I don't think we go to enough NA meetings to know that one quite yet.
What is a we support system?
I don't know. I'm going to read Jim's thing while you look that up. Jim Hartley says 11 more days until I reach 12-year point of my sobriety.
Dang.
And I know I'll still drink if I put myself in high pressure situations
Yeah.
and tempt myself. Yeah. That's good to know about yourself, too. It's being self aware. Being self aware, understanding you can't change decisions for other people, understanding what you have control over and what you don't have control over. All good things. I almost think a we support system was just like what we do in our group. We support each other. Oh, he's getting AI information. We're going to know all the things.
I haven't heard that we support system term, so I can't really point me, clarify a little bit more and point me in the direction because I'm pretty sure I could figure it out. A we support system would likely refer to a group of people and resources that provide assistance and support to an individual dealing with addiction. This can take on many forms, right? You can have a therapist or a counselor. You can have support groups, families and friends, medical professional, rehabilitation centers, and like this right here, this live stream, online services. We support systems. So we support, a recovering addict is a we support. We support you. And our goal here, especially locally, is to be able to support people for free. I believe that the 30, 60, 90-day insurance model, I know that there are people in there with great motivation, great hearts who love and want to help people, but the system that's been set up with the corrupt insurance and government, all that bullshit, isn't working. It's failing people, right? Like we just, a girl on here right now has 8 years clean from IV use of meth. Who is to say at 30 days she is going to be ready to face the world? That's why I believe it needs to be a long term we support. So get it in your mind. If you are in early recovery right now, get it in your mind. For the next 5 years, I am going to need to lean on a we support system of some sort, whether that be like what we have here locally. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays we meet. We work out together for an hour. We get our bodies physically strong, which drops all these awesome hormones and endorphins. And then we sit around for an hour and we talk about recovery and help support and help love one another.
Yeah. I think a we support system sounds way better than an I support system because I could not be able to do a lot of things by myself.
That's in a meeting support system. Yeah. And then the we support systems, a lot of us when we're drinking, we don't have any, if you don't have the friends, you don't have the support networks, and you got to go build that network. Just like right now. So here's an example. I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I'm trying to build a network of people who speak Spanish. So I meet with a teacher every Friday, and she points me in the right direction throughout the week. I'm studying, I'm listening throughout the day, 20, 30 minutes here, 5, 10 minutes there. And then I went to meet up online, and I found a group that meets up on Saturdays at like 2:30 via Zoom, and they just speak Spanish to each other. And I'm still looking, and I'm trying to build this network. So as you're getting into recovery, you have to build this support network around you by looking and finding. And that a great resource and a great rule of thumb is the 90 and 90. Go to 90 meetings in 90 days, right? One a day for 90 days, 3 months. You're going to meet a ton of people. You're going to take the time you used to use and replace it with healthy
Mm-hmm.
recovery mindset, and you're going to help start to build this network. And this network becomes a blanket of support to catch you if you're falling.
Yep. Have to have a support system.
Have to.
Have to. Cannot do it by yourself. I mean, maybe there's people out there that can, but why would you if you don't have to? Why would you just suffer by yourself and go through the hard things when you can have friends and family there to support you along the way? And you can make new friends and learn how to do new hobbies, learn how to do new things. I think my favorite thing that we do with our group is mountain biking by far. And eventually we'll go to the lake one day. One day we'll go to the lake. Covering at it. Oh, is that you?
That's me.
Boom, there you go.
In the fight against addiction, having a robust support system can be invaluable. It can help a person feel understood. It can validate and not alone and make them feel not alone in their journey to recovery. This we support system signifies the collective effort of various entities towards a person's recovery from addiction.
Beautiful. Beautifully said.
Build it.
Just thank you all so
Lean
much.
it. Lean on it. Rely on it. It's a must.
And in order to have a support system, you have to learn to be able to be vulnerable, to open up when you have problems, to be able to find somebody you trust and be like, that's the person that I'm going to confide in.
Yep.
Or a couple, however many it takes, but you have to be willing to open up because people can't always be asking you what's wrong. I mean, they can, and they can pull it out of you, but eventually you got to learn to like talk about it, or it's always just going to be stuffed in there and nobody's going to know what to ask.
Yeah, they talk about this 1,000-pound phone, or if they ask you, like, hey, what's wrong? And you go, oh, nothing, I'm just a little tired. And you just play it off, The lie we tell everybody every day, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing good. Even if you're not doing good. Imagine if you're brutally honest every time somebody asked you how you were doing and you just unloaded on them. That kind of thing. Be that around your support group. You're brutally honest now. If you're angry, you talk about it. If you're sad, you talk about it. Hey, how's it going? I feel like this because of this. I feel like this and I don't know why, but this is what's been going on the last 2 weeks. What do you think it might be? Pick up the phone, call, get in your support groups, talk. Don't hold it in. When we cut ourselves, we get a cut, right? I've talked about this before. We get a cut. You know it hurts. You're like, ow, I better take care of this. I'm bleeding. I better clean it and put a band-aid on it because I don't want to suffer any longer. But when it comes to the insides, we get those same warning signs of pain. We are gluttons for punishment and we let it just fester and bubble, let our imagination run wild instead of, hey, something's wrong on the inside. I need to clean it up. I need to put a band-aid on it and I need to get it to heal before it gets infected, festers, and I relapse.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like some of the things you learn about yourself when you start being like, oh, this is how I feel. Like in our relapse prevention book, it has you do like a history of like trauma events or when you would do the most drinking. And like as you, when you quit or, and then you go back and as these times of the year come back, your body like remembers that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you're not sure why your mind's acting funny. And then you think about it and you're like, oh, a year ago from now, so and so died. That's why I feel this way. And maybe it's an anniversary thing. But if you don't talk about it, then it just sits in there and you don't know why you're feeling the way you feel.
Yep. Got to talk about it.
Alan says, if you think you're strong and can go alone, don't kid yourself. You need a support system.
Yeah. Don't kid
People
yourself.
are there. Yeah, people are there. People love to help.
Don't be a sophomore. We learned about a word today, sophomore. Who knows what that, right? You got freshman, sophomore, junior,
It's
senior.
cornerstone.
The word sophomore. The first part of it is like a Greek word that comes or a Latin word that comes from sophisticated, sophomore, sophistication. And then soph, right?
Stuff. And then more or
And
more
then more is the last of
or
the
more
word, which
something.
where you get the word moron from.
Yeah.
And so it could literally be translated like wise fool. Sophomore literally means like wise fool.
You're sophisticated
Just smart
moron.
enough to know some things, but still too dumb enough to know how it works. So through that stage of recovery, you got to have people to lean on because your perception of what you think might be going on could be completely wrong. And that's what step 4 and 5 are about. Step 4, you dig in, you take that inventory, right? You lay it all out there. You're trying to find the root cause of the problem and you're deep in it. Your emotions are like, and so you go and you read it to somebody one-on-one in confidential, confiding area, and they help you see it without being attached to it emotionally to help you point out, hey, you might have missed something here and look a little bit from this angle over there to help you find the root cause of the problem. Because until you find the root cause of those problems, you're going to be a sophomore for a while.
Yeah. You're not going to know what to fix.
A
You'll be fixing
wise
the wrong
idiot.
things.
Yeah. So here's some tips. If you're around people that drink, say it's your significant other, say it's your brother or sister, like my brother and a lot of my friends around here, right? Establish boundaries. Communicate your needs to friends and family. Explain your situation and the importance of you being sober. Make it clear what you are comfortable with and what you are not comfortable with. And I would say if what you're not comfortable with, bail. You may decide that you are okay being around alcohol at large gatherings, but not okay being at events where drug use is prevalent. Okay? Number 2, have a support network. It is crucial to surround yourself with a network of people, we just talked about this, who understand and support your journey towards sobriety. This could be a local support group, online, trusted group of sober friends. These people can provide encouragement and guidance when you are around others who are using. And I would say change your lifestyle. Find a whole new group of people who are trying to achieve great things in life. Develop coping strategies. Number 3, learn and practice coping mechanisms for when you are exposed to triggers. This might be deep breathing, positive self-talk, or removing yourself from that situation. Also, you need to plan ahead. Before attending any social gatherings where substances or alcohol might be present, have a plan in place that might involve bringing a sober friend, preparing non-alcoholic beverages for yourself. I would say just drink water because you need to drink at least a gallon a day. And setting a time to leave before people become too drunk, right? We only stayed at my brother's house for like an hour. They were tipsy and they weren't stopping. I'm not going to hang around for another hour. It's just time to go. I love you. Give me a hug. I'm out. Focus on your recovery. Remember that your recovery is the priority. It is okay to miss out on certain social events or distance yourself from certain relationships if it's beneficial for your sobriety. Your sobriety is you. It's the rest of your life. The rest of your life. Don't be peer pressured into attending things Don't be peer pressured into attending things. You take care of your sobriety. And if you have to put a bunch of things on hold for a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, do it. It'll be completely worth it.
Okay, Jeanette, we got 2 acres, ma'am. We got all kinds of tent space back there. Can't wait to see ya. And Jim said, my meeting in our prison was awesome. I'm doing it every Saturday now. I met some beautiful people inside the walls. That's so cool that you went and did it, Jim. I knew you'd do a great job.
That is way cool. That's giving back. That's huge too. Once you get past the sophomore and you're into the junior, senior areas of recovery, you start giving some of this wisdom and advice back to people who are new into recovery. Like Des always says, it's time to give back to the new person who's brand new in recovery. And that in itself, getting your mind off yourself and focusing empathetically and lovingly and wanting people to succeed takes you out of your own shell.
That's amazing. Look, Alan said you did great. He said, I was a bit jittery, Alan. Yeah, it's nerve wracking talking in front of people, but the more you do it, the more it comes from it. It'll be awesome. And then shout out to Steph. Props for being so strong to want to make a change in her life.
Yes.
Your friend, right, Jeanette?
Yes.
Stick with Jeanette because Jeanette's awesome. So is Alan. They're going to help you through all kinds of stuff. Stick with them. Don't give up. Props to you, Steph. You're amazing.
Good job, Steph.
Proud of you.
Stick with it. I'm telling you, man. I don't know. People ask me, what would you tell somebody early in recovery? What was one thing you would say? There's not one thing I can say. Be patient, obviously, but there's no way I can transfer my experience of the last 4 years and show you. I can kind of like maybe take a couple pictures and compare what I look like now to then, but you just have to trust me. Continue down a path of growth. Start educating yourself with nonfiction books. Start exercising and just take baby steps in all these areas and just start growing and climbing towards a better you. And trust me, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years, you're going to look back and you're going to see how far you've come. You're going to see how much more amazing you feel and think, how fast your mind works, how clearly you think, the relationships you build that are actually true and honest and deep and trustworthy. I just can't get all that off and try to express it.
You just have to live it, and then you're going to be grateful.
Yeah.
Good 12 stepping, Jim, my redneck WV brother.
You rednecks.
You West Virginians.
All right, so we're going through this book called 40 Questions to Change Your Life by Jason. Last Sunday, we talked about if you're not you, then who are you going to be? That's a good question. Go back to our last live stream and check it out. But today's question is, does today feel different? Does today feel different than yesterday? It goes on to say, today should feel different than yesterday, if only a very small way. Otherwise, you're sitting still. Sitting still. Change. I hope this word doesn't scare you, but rather inspires you. Herbert Spencer said, a living thing is distinguished from a dead thing by the multiplicity of the changes at any moment taking place in it. Change is evidence of life. It is impossible to grow without change. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. The truth is, life is always at some point a turning point. He says, I found myself at a turning point in 1992. I had accepted an invitation from several churches in Florida to speak in their service over a 2-week period. In addition to those opportunities, I was also invited to speak at a monthly devotional held at a prominent publishing company. It was December, a great time to be in Florida. At the publishing company, I had a great time and went to lunch right afterwards with the leaderships of my team and the owner's wife. I had no idea my life was about to change. Within one day, I received a very pleasant phone call from the owner. They were looking for somebody to head their book publishing company. He wanted a change. The company had not been doing very well, and he was in a desperate need of a fresh leadership. He wanted to meet me and have dinner as soon as possible. He said, I had a good dinner and a conversation with both him and his wife. It didn't take very long for him to begin to talk to me about coming to run the company. I had absolutely no desire to do that. In fact, I remember thinking this is a great way to interview for a job. We ended our dinner that evening with him offering me a position and me not being interested at all. My wife Linda was flying out to Florida to join me in the second week of my 2 week tour. I was looking forward to being with her. The owner of the publishing company continued to reach out to me and asked me to meet with both Linda and me about the job. I was still not interested, but out of respect and maybe a free meal, I said okay. He said again, we had a great meeting. He continued to pursue me to run his company, and something began to change inside of me. I began to sense that God may be in this opportunity. And as I continued to travel and speak in Florida, the idea that God was calling me to help turn this company around became stronger and clearer. Change was about to happen in my life and in life of my family. I said yes, and within 1 month, I found myself living in Florida and running a company.
Cool.
What people want is progress. If they cannot have it without, and they cannot have it without change. You want progress? You can't have it without change. It's impossible. You must change and recognize that change is your greatest ally. The person who never changes their opinion never corrects their mistakes. The person who never changes their opinion never corrects their mistakes. The fact is, the road to success is always under construction. The road to success is always under construction. And like I like to say, there is no finish line. Yesterday's formula for success is often tomorrow's recipe for failure. Consider what Thomas Watson, the founder of the IBM Corporation, said in 1943. He said, there is a world market for about 5 computers. Where would IBM be today if Mr. Watson had been willing to change? You cannot become what you are destined to be by remaining who you are. John Patterson says, only fools and dead men don't change their minds. Only fools and dead men don't change their minds. Fools won't, and dead men can't. If you don't respect the need for change, consider this. How many things have you seen change in just this past year? Look back over the past year and go, how much has changed? A ton in our
Lot.
life. Holy cow.
Can't even count, probably.
Yeah, you'd have to really start digging and be like, oh, yeah. Well, oh, yeah. And we'd be like going, oh, yeah, a lot, I'll bet. When you change yourself, opportunities will change. The same kind of thinking that has brought you to where you are will not necessarily get you where you want to go. Sante Buive discovered the truth.
Beautiful name.
There are people who watch stops. There are people whose watch stops at a certain hour and remain permanently at that age. Don't be that person.
No.
Do not fear change. It is the law of progress. The man who uses yesterday's method in today's world won't be in business tomorrow. You got to keep up. A traditionalist is simply a person whose mind is always open to new ideas, provided that they are the same old ones. There are people who do not only strive to remain static themselves, but strive to keep everything else static around them. Their position is almost laughably hopeless. Odell Shepard said, that's what Odell Shepard said. So the unhappiest people are the ones who fear, all right, let me start that over. The unhappiest people are the ones who most fear change. When patterns and traditions are broken, new opportunities come together. Defending your faults and errors only proves that you have no intention of quitting them. All progress is due to those who are not satisfied to let well enough alone. They weren't afraid to change. Change is not your enemy. Change is your friend. You got to be willing to change.
Change and adapt and grow. Yes, Utah is even a state. We love fry sauce because it's delicious.
Hey, Utah.
Go Utah. Uh, Jim says he tried to record the meeting, but they weren't allowed to take any. Dang it. That would have been cool if you could, and then we could have played it on our stream. Utah, Utah.
Utah.
Alan stinks. Alan stinks.
He does stink. I can smell him all the way from Utah.
He smells like West Virginia.
Smells like West Virginia.
Um, no, I really like that chapter in the book about being willing to change. If you want to grow, you got to change. If you want to be a leader, you have to change. If you want to get a new job, you have to change.
Gotta
If you want
change.
to do certain things with your life, you have to change. If you want to be sober, you have to change. Like, change is not a bad thing. Change. We've done a lot of change, and it hasn't been so bad.
Mm-mm.
It's actually been quite a blessing. Prison and jail are strict on the intent of video. I think you need actual permission from the warden, state, and 2 senators. Probably.
Ellen sharded.
Ew.
That's what she says. I know it.
Recovery and change go hand in hand.
Yeah, you got to constantly be changing.
Yes, they do.
And the more you grow, the more you learn, the more you want to change, and the more you see the reason to change. You go, oh, yeah, that wasn't working. I'm going to change. So let's talk about this last little bit here, last 10 minutes
Real
about.
quick. The last
helping.
chapter was like about getting to know who you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those 2 chapters go hand in hand perfectly. Like get to know who you are and then who you want to be. And that's your change.
Yep.
Sorry.
Heck yeah. All right. So, our fitness and diet tips we always end our show with, because I believe to take yourself to the next level, you must take this vehicle that you drive through life to the next level, and that's your body. You need to feed it the right fuel. You need to give it what it needs, and that is exercise. We were watching a documentary yesterday, and they said that people who are inactivity, and that means just waking up, lounging around, sitting at the TV, going to their little job, coming home, and being sedentary is worse than smoking like 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing for your body. Your body does not wear out from overuse, it wears out from not being used. Old people, when you see them shuffling around and they can't walk right, I mean, obviously we're going to get old and we have aches and pains, but when you see that old person who can't shuffle around, it's because we have underneath our main muscle structure that we see little muscles that hold all our bones in place. And when those little bones inside or those little muscles inside there stop holding the bones in place, then that's when you get people who fell and broke their hip. And what really happens is they break their hip and fall, or they don't have the strength and fall in the bathtub, smack their head, and die.
Oh.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So you got to take care of your body. And the more you take care of your body, the better your recovery is going to be, because you're going to be firing on all cylinders, your hormones, your endorphins, your thought, your mood. It changes your mood into exercise gives natural painkillers. Exercise is a mood enhancer. It is good for you. So today, let's talk about eating healthy, okay?
You listening, Steph?
Eat healthy, work out, and take baby steps. So the best way to eat healthy is to understand that it is a lifestyle change. All this is lifestyle. This is all about your behavior and what you're going to do. And some stuff that I saw. Did I say secretary?
Maybe sedentary.
Hopefully I said it right. Oh, I bet y'all knew what I meant, though.
I thought you said it right.
Probably.
Secretaries
Have a
just
good
say
night,
a lot
Epi.
too sometimes. I don't
We need to send him a sticker, too. So that's
know.
we'll send stuff, too. Oh, we got to send stuff. So,
Oh, let me make a note. I'll forget right
Yeah.
after this.
cool.
I'm gonna send it in a group.
It's a lifestyle change. And you got to think about it as a lifestyle change that has no finish line. You're not like, I'm going to diet and exercise for like a year and then I'm done and then I can go back to it. No, you're either progressing towards health or you're decreasing. You're either on the road to relapse or you're on the road to recovery. It's the same thing with health. So understand that it's a lifestyle change and that you have to become a new you, just like recovery, right? So water, make sure you're drinking a lot of water throughout the day, at least an ounce per body pound. So if you weigh 200 pounds like me, you need to drink 1 ounce of water per body pound a day. And then if you throw exercise and you work outside and you're sweating a lot, you need to increase it to maybe 1.5 to 2. If you lapse, say you set up a good diet and you lapse and you eat some cookies, that's okay. Don't let it throw you off. Say it's Thursday, you go to work and they have cake, and all of a sudden you eat cake and now you feel guilt and shame because you've set yourself up on some strict diet. And now when you go home, you're like, screw it. I'm just going to eat McDonald's.
Do whatever I want.
And then when I wake up
Even
Friday,
nothing.
I'm not going to do nothing. And I'm just going to eat whatever and crap. And
Because I
Sunday, I'm
messed
just going
up.
to, Saturday, I'm going to eat even worse. And I'll get back on track Monday.
Fix it.
Don't let it be a relapse. Don't let a lapse turn into a relapse. So set yourself up.
Yeah, just pick yourself up. Eat a healthy meal the next one after the cake. You'll be all right.
Where's JV? Yeah, where's JV? We need JV talking about this.
John,
So
where are you?
To change these, you need to educate yourself. You need to take the knowledge about what diet is, what your body does, what exercise does for you, and then you need to put it into action, just like recovery. I want to change my life. What do I need to do in recovery? Put it into action. Same with your body. How are you going to take care of this vehicle that you live and drive through life?
Literally put it into action.
Put it into action and take small steps. So, say you are eating 3, 4 meals a day that are just crap, just garbage, right? Change one of those meals out for a healthy meal, a chicken breast, some avocados, and some tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever,
A
right?
potato. Mm.
And then start drinking more water. If you drink 5 sodas a day, which is going to kill you,
That's a lot.
drop it down to 4 and drink a big glass of water instead. Take baby steps per day. And then if you haven't been exercising, set a goal every day. I'm going to go around the block 3 times, maybe 10, 15 minutes, put on a good podcast or something in recovery and walk. Get your heart rate up into the 100 area. That's just a brisk walk and do that. And then as you start getting stronger, start replacing your meals more often, start exercising a little harder, and then just start reaping the rewards. And once you start feeling that progress, you're going to want to continue. So do it and stick with it. Take baby steps and change your life in a realistic way that you can maintain the rest of your life. There's no 40-day, 30 days to 6-pack of abs. All that stuff is a bunch of garbage.
It's a lifestyle change. Be patient. It'll take time.
Yeah, for the rest of your life. So for me,
Consistency.
if I was in a coma, if I died, or if I did die, if I was in a coma, my body, right, to sustain its life would need 1,800 calories a day to live in this current condition at 200 pounds, right? But I'm very active. Today I went and rode 23 miles on my bike. Tomorrow I will ride another 20 miles, and then in the evening I will do a hard hit workout,
You're welcome.
muscle building workout. And so to maintain my current weight of 200 pounds and the way I look right now, I'll need to bump up my calories to 3,281. Right now, my BMI is 31.3. So I'm going to drop a couple articles in here to help educate you. You can measure yourself. You can get some ideas, some pretty cool little calculators. I should probably drop one at a time, huh? Let me try that again.
Yeah.
So here's
Right.
weight loss success. It has a cool calculator. You can kind of see where you need to hit your calories at. And this one's cool too because it's going to help you see what you need to plan your calories at. And so Felice and I are on this new thing. It's not new. We're just on a new structure for the way we want to hit our next level of health and fitness. And that is
We've learned a
planning out our meals and carrying our food with us, good, clean food. And we're trying to burn fat. We're trying to turn our bodies into a healthy, fat burning, sustainable,
Machine.
energetic, as healthy as we can be in this fallen world. So right now I want to eat 6 times a day and I want to maintain like 3,200 calories, right? And that'll keep me just right where I'm at. So I need to have 571 calories per meal. So say you eat 6 times a day. However, you're going to divide it up. If you do it 3 or 6, okay? Take how many calories you need for your body, divide it by 3, and then give yourself the portion of calories. Make 40% of that protein, make 40% of it carbs, and make 20% of it fats. Don't get too crazy on, well, you can only digest, don't try to read into all these different articles. Right now, just make it simple. Go on a good walk, cut your portions down to a division of how many calories you need per day through 3 to 6 meals. Say, I'm going to do 6 meals and I'm going to do about, like I said, 570 calories per meal. And I'm going to put 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fat, all healthy, clean stuff. And if you do this and you keep it up for a year, you're going to have a change. And then you keep learning and knowledge. And then with the trial and error, you're going to know how to hit that next level. Good, clean food. Here's a rule of thumb. If God made it, eat it. If it's made by a man, stay away from it. Produced food, all the stuff in the boxes, the frozen section, don't eat it. Protein bars, you can lean on them every once in a while. Don't eat them. If God made it, if it runs, if it flies, if it grows out of the ground, eat it. It's good for you.
Yep. Very true. I'm trying. It's very hard with my schedule right now.
Yeah, and that's about preparation. Got to meal prep and make it happen. This lady we were listening to last night, she made a really good point. She's like, if I spend a couple hours and I meal prep and I got all my little foods ready for the next 2, 3 days, and I take that food with me, it's actually more convenient because I have my food with me. It's healthy food. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat. I don't have to wonder what I'm about. I'm not going to go spend extra money at
Wherever.
wherever, McDonald's or Starbucks or whatever to eat. I just go, it's time to eat. I'm hungry. Throw it in the microwave, wherever, eat it, done.
Boom.
That
Boom.
little bit of preparation is going to give you more convenient time saving down the week. So it could actually help your schedule.
Very true. I'm sorry, Jeanette. All I hear is excuses, says Alan.
That's all I hear.
Excuses. And do some research. Figure out how foods work together. Like we just learned that if you're going to eat a potato or some sort of starchy carb to pair with a protein. Carbs by themselves will spike your insulin. If you pair it with a protein like chicken or whatever, it doesn't spike your insulin the way it normally would. So then it doesn't raise your blood sugar. Then you're not storing fat. So just do a little research. Figure out how things work together.
Yeah, what we're learning too, because we were kind of on a low carb diet, eating only meat, and not seeing the results we really wanted. I'm sure we weren't doing it that great either. But we were listening to these people, and they're like, protein and fats, just like she said. If you eat protein all by itself, you're going to spike. If you eat carbs all by itself, you're going to spike. If you eat fat all by itself, your insulin and all that stuff's going to spike. But if you eat protein, fat, and carbs and let them be a team working process, it keeps all your stuff under and regulated. And then the carbs take the proteins and shove them into the muscles that have been worked. And then you only eat those 300 to 500 calories per meal because your body isn't going to be able to absorb any more than that, right? And especially if you're working out, not working out. And then if it doesn't burn it, what does it do? It stores it as fat. So you just got to start thinking of your body as like your car. You can only put so much gas in it before it spills all over, right? And you can't run on fumes or you're going to run out of gas. You have to figure out the gas mileage and what's the best way to put it in there and drive it.
Yeah. And fats are very high calorie foods. So if you could eat one avocado, 300 calories, or you could eat a 4-ounce chicken breast, a medium baked potato with sour cream, and some vegetables, 300 calories. Which one's going to keep you fuller longer and be more nutritious for your body?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
things
it's
to
easy.
think about.
Yep.
And I love a good baked potato.
And Alan loves Jeanette.
And Alan loves Jeanette. If y'all didn't know out there, Alan and Jeanette are married. They're not just
They are
complete strangers,
significant others.
just out there giving each other a hard time. They love each other.
All right. Linky.
Link.
It's Linky, guys. Say hi.
Yeah. Hi. Bye. Love y'all.
Hi, bye. Love y'all. God,
God,
grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Link.
Link, they're happy for you. It's been a minute. Link's doing good. Oh, so I'm going to record next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, in 3 days. Linky is speaking at the Other Side Academy in Salt Lake. He's going to stand up in front of about 120 people, and he's going to tell his story, his whole life story, from the age when he got his head crushed to what it was like in recovery, what it was like living with an alcoholic dad, all that kind of stuff. So this dude is rocking. And if you haven't heard our full story, one day maybe you will. Stick around. And we have some huge plans for the future. You guys are going to want to stick around and watch the channel because we're going to start doing some crazy things to bring awareness to therapeutic communities, peer supports, and addiction awareness to help just spread this message and get people to change. We need to change. Drugs aren't going away, but maybe if we can influence people to change, then that's it. Everybody's happy for you, Linky.
Wait for drugs to go to waste. Quit using them.
All right, y'all. Till next time, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your programs, and remember,
We recover better
together.
together.